What's good, y'all? This is your boy, your son, your friend, Frankee TJ, and welcome to Airing It All Out Podcast, where transparency heals. Um, Today's topic is words. Someone asked me a question. How do you recover from um, negative words? Um, and this is such a good question because a lot of us grow up, right? We're antagonized, we are talked down to, we are belittled, we are demeaned, or we're told no when we know the answer should be yes. Like there are so many different stories, different events and situations that have gone on in people's lives that I can't put right in this kind of podcast. However, what I will give is my own experiences that in hopes this can help um, people. Anyway, so I remember, um, if anybody knows me, they know that I minister and dance. I remember I went to this event. I was about 13, 13 years old, I think. But nevertheless, we went to this event. And Um, it was me and my team. We went to this event. I wasn't the leader. Actually, my cousin was the leader at the time, and we went to this event at a theater in Las Vegas. We were asked to dance, and I had just joined the dance team, and um, they made me lead. And I'm like, hold up, bruh. Y'all been dancing for like years, and y'all want me to dance? Nah, bruh. Like I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a part. Nobody, no ma'am, no ham. Um, but anyway, I went ahead and accepted um, the responsibility. I'm sorry, of leading that song. So anyway, we had to go through the rehearsal, like a dress rehearsal before the event started. And there were two other guys there, and they were the crowd favorite. The people usually got up, clapped, were pretty excited when they saw these young people. They were younger than us. I was 13, so they had to be like 9, 10 years old. Um, and we were doing creative mime. They were doing mime dance, and we were doing mime dance. So, um, push come to shove, to further along the story, we had did our dress rehearsal, and then I went to the back to just make sure my clothes were right, make sure my clothes are ready. This is my first time dancing outside of the four walls of mine own church, and they came up to me, these two young boys, legit, and they came up to me and was like, "You suck. You're not good. Um, you're not good at all." And I'm like, okay, like who is these kids? Who is these? Why are y'all even near me, bruh? Like, move. um, and I just got away from them because I'm like, Lord, I'm about to hit these kids. Like, y'all coming at me. I just started doing this. Like, I don't even like just move these kids away from me. So we went ahead and did. So I believe we had like two shows in one day. So we did like a 11, and then we had like a 3 o'clock. And I think I can't recall. But anyway, so the once we did the first session, and the boys found me, like literally located me, tried to find me, and came up to me and said, "Hey, you suck. You are not good." And I'm like, if these boys don't move away from me, I be committed a crime against children. I'm already a teenager. I know I can beat their tail. Like, let me get away from these. So those words hurt me. Like, my feelings were so hurt. I just started doing something. I'm actually starting to love doing this. I fell in love with dance so quickly. And you're telling me that I'm not good at it? My esteem went down. It was hard to get up and dance before people when, some young children, some babies, told me that I was bad. And, babies are honest. um, so I needed that because, you know, it made me work harder. It made me want to push myself to become better. than what I was. I didn't think I was bad. My dance leader didn't tell me I was bad. So I don't know if they were trying to encourage me and didn't know how, or if their intent was to bring me down because for whatever reason a 19-year-old would want to bring an older person down. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. Um, and I remember also there was a time where a family member, um, well, I'm not going to say that one. I'm going to say a friend. Um, I remember a friend and we were talking. Um, okay, I'll be honest. It was someone I was dating. And she straight up told me, she said, hey, we were dating for a minute, and she told me straight up, she's like, your teeth, like, you should get braces. Like, your teeth, you have space in your teeth, and I don't like that. Um, and it gave me a huge complex to the point where I didn't like my teeth. I didn't like my smile. I never smiled in photos after that. I just was like, bruh, like, what's wrong with my teeth? You know? And I had to, it took me a while to embrace my gap. Yes, I have a gap. Yes, I have some space in my teeth, but it ain't bad. But my thing is like, sis, if you shallow, then go find somebody who got straight teeth. Go find somebody that got clear skin. Go find somebody that got hair on their head. You know? um, and then this one. The worst thing I've ever heard was that I don't want to be around you. I don't like you. You're not part of this thing. You don't belong. We don't want you here. I've heard all these things. Like literally a life of rejection. It's painful. It's not something that I would wish on my worst enemy because it is a painful experience to be forced to be alone. Um, but at the same time, there is a time to recover. So in my recovery process of those negative words, I had to write them out. So what I did was I got a journal. I began to write down all of the emotions that I was feeling. Because, a lot of times people project how they feel about themselves on you. So you have to be careful what you listen to and what you believe about yourself. And I have that problem even to this day. There is sometimes people will tell me something, and it's so negative, so hurtful, and I would believe it. I would just be completely drawn into what they believe about me, even though it's not true. I still will believe what they've said, what they've spoken, and that's why words are so powerful. Words have so much power to them. So we have to be careful in what we believe and what we hear. So back to this. I get a journal and I write down the emotions. I write down the positive emotions. I write down the negative emotions. I find what's good about me, and I find my own opinion of what I don't like about myself. Right. Um, and granted, there are times where someone who loves you is giving you information about yourself that they've perceived, right? And I call that constructive criticism because they want you to become better. But some people glory in your issues. Some people love that you have issues and come for you in that area. Those are not people that you should be receptive of. But the people that actually want to help you and inspire you and motivate you and help you to become a better individual, those are people you should draw from. But anyway, back to this. This is my third time getting back to the journal. Write down your emotions and all of that. Also, find different quotes. Some of us who are spiritual, some of us who are Christian, write down scriptures that build up your esteem, that build up your confidence, that build up your character. Right? Find quotes. Things that help you with your esteem. Some of us has been like I can admit I've been called ugly, I've been called fat, I've been called immature. I've been called so many things, and everything is negative. And the intent of that is to completely destroy your character, destroy who you are as a person, destroy your esteem, destroy your confidence. But that's not what we're here for. So recovery is so important. When someone tells you something, hear it and let it go in one ear and out of the other. And I know that that's easier said than done because people like myself, words stick to me. Words stick. And I don't like it, I hate it, but words stick. So what I have to do in my recovery is go in to where those words have stuck themselves, and then unstick them, pull them apart, pull them off of me, allow them to be detached, because in that process is where I get healed from those negative words spoken over me or spoken to me. Um, so people who talk about you, again, that's a reflection of how they feel and how they see themselves. So we have to make sure that that doesn't affect us in our self-esteem. Also, some people are intentionally trying to kill you, or someone really just hates you. The best thing I tell you to do is just separate yourself from that person, and the things that you have heard and keep repeating in your head, you know, do the recovery. Other things that I do to help myself recover from heartbreaking words, disheartening words is I pray, I read scripture, I journal. What else? I watch videos on self-help, self-development, and self-identity. I listen to meditation music. Um, what else do I do? I read books that aid me in my personal development and identifying who I am, one as a man, and number two, who I am to this earth and my purposes. So a lot of things, there's so many things that we can do to really push us to developing ourselves. And then also, your own choices. For example, at the beginning of this podcast, I talked about those two young boys. God bless them, but those two young boys who just completely like dogged me, told me I sucked. I'm like, bro, y'all might have been dancing for years, but anyway, um, what I did was I channeled that energy instead of like going off on them and getting upset with them. I just put more work into my practices. Like I would go to practice for like we have practice for 3 hours, then I would go home and practice another 2 3 hours until I learned what I needed to learn, and that's how I grew as a dancer. That's how I grew as a choreographer. Was that I pushed myself, beyond my own limits. Um, there were days I'll wake up the next day and be sore, feet hurt, toes hurt, the ball of my foot hurt, kneecaps hurt, calves hurt, butt hurt, elbows hurt, like everything would just be hurting. But I knew that I was doing it for a purpose. I knew that I was serving God in what it is that I was doing. Um, so at the end of the day, make sure you channel that energy. Let those negative words come and let them bounce off of you. And for those of you who allows it, those of you who are very sensitive, whereas to the words stick to you, do your part in going in and detaching those words from you. Um, Also, another thing, like someone calls you ugly, tell yourself that you're pretty. Tell yourself that you're handsome, right? If someone comes to you and tell you that you're no good, say, I am good. I am great, actually. I know my potential. And my potential, I shall reach my potential because the desires of my heart, I shall reach them. I shall have them. So you just have to be able to speak positively to any type of negative thing that tries to impact your life. A lot of us have gone through things like my dad has said things to me, my mom has said things to me, my brother, my family have said some very hurtful things, and me too. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like pretend like I've been an angel. I've said some messed up stuff. Like I done dogged people, right? I done said some things, but thankfully in my older years, I have gone to, I've said things, and sometimes we can don't get me wrong. Sometimes as humans, right, we can get angry, we can get upset, we can get annoyed. So we end up saying something out of that emotion, and at times it can be hurtful. But I think the most beautiful thing about doing something painful and hurtful to someone is going back and making it right. A lot of us don't know how to apologize. A lot of us don't know how to go back and make amends. And one thing that I've learned by reading scripture and self-development is that everything that you do, it's you doing it, but it causes a response. Whether that person says anything or not, their heart can respond. They may respond and not even care what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it's still a response, right? So I've learned that when I do something wrong, and I know I'm wrong, and even if I feel like I was right, but I know if I hurt the person, I care more about that person than I do if I'm right or wrong. So I'll go back and apologize just to make sure that that person's not bruised or shattered, I've done that several times, and I will not stop until the day that I die, because life is about more than just yourself. It's about people. So there was one time that I apologized to someone, and they were not feeling it. I remember this young lady. She was upset with me because I didn't speak to her. Yeah, I'm like, you mad because I didn't speak, bruh? Okay. Well, I do apologize. I'm so sorry, about that. I don't remember not speaking. I don't remember even seeing you, but I do apologize. And still to this day, I kid you not, she hates my guts. But I know I did my part. I went to her. I've texted her. I've even spoken to her in public, and she won't say nothing to me. She hates me. But at the end of the day, I did my part. I reached out. I've apologized, and guess what? Now it's on her. So our words do matter, and even if we go back and speak with the words of I apology, we go back and speak the words of, hey, I apologize. It's up to them to receive, right? Sometimes they don't want to receive that loving, powerful apology. They just want to be upset, and that's on them. Again, how they react is a reflection of themselves. So, again, if we speak negatively, make it right. And if people speak negatively to us and don't make it right, then we need to make it right ourselves and heal ourselves, right? But anyway, so thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I just wanted to come on for a little bit and talk about the power of words and how they impact us and they shape us. I might do another session on this because this is really good. But remember, words are powerful. Power, life and death are in the power of our tongue. So whatever we say to people, make sure that whatever it is that you're saying is intentional, it's powerful, it's purposeful, and not purposeless and demeaning. We have to live a life where people are being encouraged and motivated and inspired, and not living a life of murder with what's up on our lips and our tongue. So thank you all for tuning in to Airing It All Out podcast. And I hope that this has helped you out in a great deal. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.